We are extremely fortunate this morning to have Dr. Marissa Spade with us. Title of the book, 8 Ways to Happiness. You are in for a treat. I've said this morning through part of the service, actually reading the book, believe me, it's a lot more motivating than most of the stuff I talk about. So I'm going to let her introduce herself. I'm going to give her as much time as possible. But this is an exceptional individual. And 8 ways to be happy. Listen, are you happy? Yeah. There's a test.
Thank you, Reverend. Good morning. Let's try that again. Pretend you just had some coffee. Good morning. Good morning. Wonderful. I'd like you to turn to people on either side of you right now. Look at them in the eyes, smile, and welcome them to CSA. Beautiful. Well, I am Dr. Marissa, and thanks to Michael Bernard Beckwith. Anybody know Michael Bernard Beckwith? He's my big brother. He wrote the foreword to the book. He actually introduced me to Oprah as the Asian Oprah. And that was when she came to Agape several years back, and she looked at me, smiled, looked down, looked back up at me and said, "Nice pants." And it took everything for me not to say, "Do you want them?" Like, take them off now. But I didn't do that. But I am here, blessings from Agape. I'm on faculty at the Agape International Spiritual Center, inviting all of you for the New Year's retreat where I teach the meditation, the moving meditation, which I think if we have time, I'll teach you a form or two. And I'm also here to talk about happiness. Now, I know I'm preaching to the choir here because you're all happy, right? Yes? You're all at least 88% happy, right? So why 88% happy? Well, if you're 100% happy, you're dead. So we don't want 100%. We need the contrast. We need the contrast. But 8, now I know you also thought I was Swedish, right? But I'm actually Chinese, and in Chinese, the number 8 is a homonym for good fortune. So I say 88% because it is our good fortune to be happy 88% of the time. And I'm guessing that right now you're at least 88%. Yes? But I want you to think about Monday morning. Or maybe Wednesday noon. So I want you to I'm going to take a little survey right now just to see what kind of audience I'm talking to. So in order to keep you honest, you're going to close your eyes. Close your eyes. You can always tell the suspicious ones that have not got their eyes closed. I'm not going to do anything to you, I promise. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Release through the mouth. And I'm going to ask you to put your hands in the air and give me the number that rates your happiness. Do not look at your neighbor. Do not look at your insignificant other. I mean your significant other beside you. Okay? But show me on average how happy you are. On average, how happy you are. I know you're 10 now, but on average. Okay? So I see 8s. I see 6, watch that middle finger. I see 7s, I see 10, I see 6, I see 7. Okay, as low as 5. Any lower than 5? This morning, the first service, somebody made sure I saw their 2. So, good. Okay, lower your hand. So on average, I see about a 7. So there is some room, yes, to choose a little bit more happiness. You with me? Yeah. Would you like some tools that I have learned how to try to help myself choose happiness? Because we all know that we are spiritual beings having a human experience, correct? We all know that we're perfect, whole, and complete, right? Until someone pisses us off. Right? And then we're like, what? Or we wake up in the morning and we listen to the news. Yeah, no. Just to let you know, it's not news, it's old. And my big brother will say, he calls it a weapon of mass distraction. That's what the news is. If you start your day with the news, you're already going down that rabbit path because there's three kinds of news. One is always something about natural disaster and how someone suffered from it. Two is the worst things people do to each other, right? The worst in humanity. And three, some kind of corruption in some kind of government. That's it. That's the three pieces. So you don't have to listen anymore. Different places, different faces, but that's the news. So you can choose right in the morning to start your day not with the on button, not with the Yahoo or Google News or whatever that is, but choose your news. Choose your news by taking a bite out of a gratitude sandwich. So what is that like? So the first thing you do is you sit up in bed. Don't run off to, unless you really have to go to the bathroom, but don't run off to brush your teeth or anything like that. You just wake up, you open your heart, you open your mind, you open your breath, you sit up in bed. Don't have to wake anybody up. And you just take that breath in through the nose, release through the mouth, soft shoulder, soft elbow, soft knees. And then I want you to be specific about 8 things that you are grateful for. Dr. Wayne Dyer says 5, I'm an overachiever, so it's 8, you know why. So just 8 specific things that you are grateful for. So friends and family don't count, too general. So let's see how quickly I can do it. 1, I'm grateful that I got the memo and I matched the choir. 2, I am grateful that I got to do one service and was, had a lot of smiles there. 3, I'm grateful that I got an invitation from Reverend Rick and Reverend Georgia to be here. 4, I'm grateful that most of you are smiling at me right now. 5, I'm grateful that my friend Christy is helping me today. 6, I'm grateful that my older daughter called me this morning from New York. She's a 4th year at Cornell. 7, I'm grateful that my younger daughter's at UC Davis, which is why I'm here. I brought her up to go to school. 7 and 8, I'm grateful that I have comfortable shoes on and I won't fall down the stairs. So there's 8 right there. I did not rehearse that. If I could have chosen better, I would have. That was very spontaneous. So I'm just saying that because you can do that too. You wake up in the morning and you start with that gratitude instead of the news. As soon as you do that, guess what happens? You begin to see things that you can be grateful for. That's the power we have. So the next thing I have is an alarm on my calendar. Every 9 a.m., I put down, I can't wait to see how, and then I put in the, fill in the blank. Every week it changes. How prosperity shows up today. I can't wait to see how love shows up today. Peace, creativity, generosity, kindness. All of those things, I have an alarm. And as soon as 9 o'clock comes up, just in case I want to start thinking about all the things that I got to do that I didn't get done yesterday, and who insulted me, and who I need to give revenge to, and who's a pain in my neck, and who said what to me. Right at about 9 o'clock is when now that starts creeping in. I have the alarm go off and says, intentionally, what and how is prosperity going to show up in my life? What and how is love going to show up in my life? And the law of attraction, you all know, when we look, we find. When we focus, it grows bigger. That's just the law. It's like gravity. It works like that whether you believe it or not. And if you want proof of that, how many of you wanted to buy a new car? You pick the kind of car, and all of a sudden, you see them all over. Now, did everybody find out that's what you wanted and went out and bought it? No! That's the law of attraction at work. So we know the power of our choice. So being happy is a choice. Those of you who saw my Unity magazine article last month, that was what it was called. Choose happiness. So you start with 8 in the morning. Now what's interesting is we have an epidemic of people who have problems falling asleep. This never used to be such a big issue than it is now. 85% of all patients, or is anybody going to the doctor, 85% the doctor says it is stress related. So somehow we are letting the news or the olds or whatever's going around us eat us in a way that makes us sick. So through the day, we are somehow listening to voices or messages that stress us out. Now, what stresses us out? Do affirmations of love and peace and joy stress us out? No, not lately. Do messages of, I'm really not good enough? Do messages of, I didn't get it right? I'm never going to amount to anything. It's never going to work out for me. I might as well give it up now. Everybody that told me I was unworthy or worthless was right. I can't take credit. It's really not me. How many of you here have a voice that says, you shouldn't have said this, you shouldn't have done that, remember when you did that, and you're gonna suffer for this for the rest of your life. I'm my own worst enemy, okay? Anybody have that? I'm my own worst, thank you, I knew there was more. I'm my own worst enemy. I'm not harder on anyone else than I am on myself. I'm no harder on anyone else except myself. I'm the hardest on myself. I'm my own worst critic. Okay? So, when you have that voice, are you happy? Is that voice a stressor? Okay? Usually that voice is built on a message that you got when you were young. One of the reasons why I wrote the book is because like 7 out of 10 of us, were born with childhood trauma. We experienced childhood trauma. And so those messages, it's like I was told I was fat, ugly, and clumsy from all the way up through my teen years. So guess what I did when I left home? I had little antenna up looking for people who were going to prove that that was true. So I picked a man who made me feel fat, ugly, and unattractive because that's what I believed. That's what I had internalized. All of the messages that I grew up with, I took with me. And I made those the BS, the belief systems that guided my choices and guided my experience. And what I looked for, I found. So I attracted people. And my husband, cost me $4 million. Why is divorce so expensive? Because it's worth it. That's why chapter 5 of the book is out of hatred into forgiveness. But I did that. I took the baggage, I took the critic, I took those messages and brought them into my present. And 10 years ago, that's where I was, and 10 years ago is when I stepped through the doors of Agape and found who I was. Found who I really am. But it's not a light switch. This is a blissipline, as my big brother would say. It's a blissipline to wake up and be grateful, whether you feel like it or not. It's a blissipline to look for prosperity and peace and love and joy all through the day. It's a blissipline, and here's the toughest part, is the gratitude sandwich. You got gratitude in the morning, you have gratitude at night. Before you go to bed, the reason why a lot of us have problems sleeping is because we go to bed thinking about, oh, I didn't get that done, and now I got to do it tomorrow, and I forgot to do this, and how dare they say what they did to me? How dare they insult me like that? And oh, I worry about this, and I worry about that, and of course we're not going to sleep. So what we do at the end of the day is to take the bite, and the bottom is 8 things that we appreciate about ourselves. It's not gratitude for others. We now turn the attention here. Now you might say, Dr. Marissa, I get that. I can do the morning, but I really don't either know who I am or like who I am. I was in that place. I look good on the outside. I got compliments all the time because that's what I do. I'm a Leo in 6 planets. So I'm always here, ta-da. And my antenna's out, compliment me, come on, you can do it. And when I would get a compliment, I would say, thank you. And then in my head, my critic, who I call Rose, guess what my mother's name was, is, there's only 2 times in your life you have no mother issues, when you're born and when you die. But that's another topic. So, my critic would say, well, they're complimenting you now, but they don't really know who you are. If they knew what you did, said, were, whatever, la 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 la, blah 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 blah, then they wouldn't be so impressed. So, the work, the discipline is, how can we appreciate ourselves when we don't like ourselves, right? Because some days we come here, we're perfect, whole, and complete. Yes, 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 we're perfect, whole, complete. We get in the car, someone cuts us off. We are not perfect, whole, and complete. Yeah? So, the practice, the discipline is, first of all, knowing who we are. My friend does not have an answering machine. She has a questioning machine. And when you call her, it says, who are you? And what do you want? Part of my discipline is on a daily basis asking myself that question. Who am I? And what do I want? And when I am conscious about that, knowing that I am imperfectly perfect, knowing that I am 88% awesome, this is so important because I have a critic that will tell me, you are a piece of shiitake. All the time. Piece of shiitake, piece of shiitake, piece of it. And then I have an internal brat that thinks it's hot shiitake. It's a very exhausting swing to live on. Piece of shiitake, hot shiitake, piece of shiitake, hot shiitake. It's very, very tiring. I'm exhausted by the end of the day. But when I find my balanced, centered self, we all have a balanced, centered self. And if I can grow my balanced, centered self to soothe my critic, and to soothe my brat, and to soothe the sad one who was hurt as a child, then I become knowingly, consciously perfect, whole, and complete. That is our work. That is our lifetime work. If we are looking for approval in all the wrong places, if we can't approve of ourselves, how can we expect others to approve of us? So my work is to know beyond a shadow of doubt and esteem through esteemable acts and making conscious choices that have better consequences than others, and cut myself some slack when I slip and have a missed take. That's what this human experience is. Perfection is on the other side, but on the other side we don't get a chance to grow and expand. On the other side, I have no eyes to see the beauty that is Mother Nature showing off, or human nature showing off. I have no taste buds for that first coffee in the morning. I have no arms there to hold and love and embrace and feel. That's human experience. That's human being here. That's 88% happy. That is our birthright. So, what do you do in the morning? 8 gratitudes. What do you do at night? 8 appreciations of self, not of others, of self. And then in between, how do things show up? Intentionality, intentional manifesting. So there you have a full day of practice for your Blisscipline in order for you to be happy 88% of the time. Do I have any buyers of this Kool-Aid? Anybody want to drink this Kool-Aid? Anybody want to try this Kool-Aid? All right, because this is part, you're all now part of my mission. My mission, my Happy 88 mission is 8 million more happy people in the next 8 years. So I'm grateful. This book was born a year ago. It was born out of losing a $200,000 project. I'm an organizational psychologist by education, and I got the call. I was in the garage, and it said, your sponsoring executive just got fired. There is no $200,000 project. And my Blisscipline is to say, I can't wait to see what good comes out of this. And the voice, I call my God, my UPS man, my universal power source who delivers every morning when I pray and meditate. He said, write. And I said, I don't have time to write. And he said, you do now. He has a sense of humor. And I'm grateful to tell you that in the last year, it's hit 8 bestseller lists. #1 on Amazon, #4 on Denver Post. It's won awards, 4 book awards, and I'm so grateful because it has now taken what I do to another level. And that's why I've hit 52 different cities in the last year, and places like this to bring me to me, because I am the best audience for me, because I have to teach this stuff and I have to live this stuff, and it reminds me there's nothing easier to get me out of bad mood than get me on stage, and then I'm there. So that's the, do we have time? What do we got? 5 minutes? Okay. One, I'm going to teach you a little bit of Qigong and Tai Chi. So stand up, please. So this is what I teach, the moving meditation at Agape. So take your right hand. This is the fighting hand in traditional Tai Chi. Close it to show you come in peace. Hold the peace with your left hand. Make an A. Bring it down to heart chakra. Do a little bow and say, xie xie. That's my Chinese namaste. The divine in me and the divine in you. It is S-H-E-A, not S-H-I-T. So let's try that again. Xie, xie. Beautiful. So I want you to adopt that. That's Mandarin. So next time, instead of clapping for someone, you can do that. Now, I want you to take a breath in. Oh, I know. We'll do this one. Breathe in and release. Soft shoulders, soft elbows, soft knees. Good. In. And release all the stories and the drama. And one more deep breath in. Connecting with Qi, eternal energy, the breath of life. Now bring your arms up, open. Try not to hit the person next to you unless you don't like them. And then head back. And then release the breath forward. Breathe in. So you're moving with Qi right now. Doesn't it feel good? Now, for contrast, clench your arms super tight. Move them out. This is Li. Li is Mandarin for brute force, personal power. You feel pretty strong, right? You're going to be exhausted in about 30 seconds. That's what happens when you push your way through life. You don't want to do that. Relax. Back into Qi. This is how we're meant to move. Easy. Easy. Doesn't it feel good? And that is the gift of life. And back to center. Xie xie. You've now learned your first form of power Qi. Have a seat. So, I think my time is, I have 2 minutes. So, you have the tool, the gratitude sandwich. You have a little bit of the Tai Chi and Qigong. Be pleased please be part of my Happy 88 family. You can go to my website, drmarissa.life, and put in your email. You'll get a free happiness tip sheet. Or you can call and put Happy 88 text for the millennials in the room. If you go to 28470 and just put Happy 88 one line, you'll be connected to me as well. Instagram, any Instagram people here? Okay, that's Doc Balance, D-O-C Balance, and Facebook. Us older people, we're still using Facebook. Marissa Pay, Mondays I do a Facebook Live from wherever I am at 10 a.m. It's called Monday is the New Friday, so more Kool-Aid to drink to try to get you to love your Mondays. But I'm so grateful. I close with a song that I like to put music to words, prayers. And for those of you, I sing with the Agape International Choir, so Choir Sunday is next week. I'm so glad that I got to hear you all. You sound fabulous. And it's called the Serenity Prayer. For those of you who know 12-step programs or not, Serenity Prayer is a beautiful way to balance out what you cannot change and what you can change. So close your eyes, please. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, and the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference today. May I do thy loving will.